Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Mutant here. Today we're going to continue our quest to beat Pathfinder Kingmaker using Dora, our sword saint. He is a magus who specializes in using a long sword, which is not the typical weapon you would use on a magus build. It would be probably something like a rapier, a scimitar, a standard, kukri's work, basically anything that has a crit range of 18, 19, and 20 on the base weapon. But I'm still okay with the choices that I've made. We have some mods. So again, if you were playing this game vanilla version, you'll note that I am using things that you don't have. Turn-based combat being an obvious one. The other differences really stem from things like probably Eldritch Arcana. Extra spells, extra feats that you don't have are in this, and then I also have traits which weren't even available in the vanilla version of the game. So again, if you see something, chances are it's probably from one of these two things. From there, let's actually get into the game. Now, sadly, I had a crash on this game just today. As you can see, I've been saving and saving and saving. The hard save, which of course I always do before we finish our videos, is where we're going back to. This is the problem. See that? We got a corrupted something or other. Tomb of Armag. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. Well, first let's just delete these. I'm not sure what caused this. I just know it's in the Tomb of Armag that it happened. I have files saved all the way back for quite some time. So again, we want to delete all these. We'll try that same one again, because it did work today. And hope that we can resolve this issue, because I did not have this the last time I played this game. Now it could be, again, that because I'm using mods that something's amiss. I didn't have this problem because I would have loaded earlier today. As you saw, all those files I just deleted were files that I had been saving from this spot. So we're trying to get back into it. The crash earlier, I should point out, happened when we talked with Armag. We beat him. Here we go. We beat him, and instead of straight up killing him, we talked to him. Now maybe that's my mistake, but that shouldn't crash the game. That should kill him or not kill him as appropriate. Now we have things to deal with, things to fight
in due time
in various areas here. We want to make sure that we loot the area. We're getting a lot of these rune-covered ancient leather scraps. Now I have, let's see, path 1, path 2. We're going to take this path first to its completion. I'm doing this slightly different than I did last time, just to point it out to you guys. I went this way first, which leads to the upstairs, or downstairs, whatever. And then this path here was a dead end, so I had to backtrack. So I might as well just do it the proper way. The fastest way, I should say it that way. And again, notice something else. We have these damn summon axiamites here. These little bastards can kill us with electric blast if we're not careful. So we need to electric protect up. There we go. Not going to be perfect, but it will absorb quite a bit of the damage. Of the two spells that could protect you from damage, you have resist energies, which again, you pick one, acid, cold, fire, electric, or sonic. Or you get protection from energy, and again, you pick the same one of those 5. Protection can make you immune to it. However, it was just basically temporary hit points that basically pop, if you will, after it exceeds the amount that you absorb. So let's say you could absorb 100 points. If 105 points of damage comes your way, you take 5 damage. So again, protection for energy is amazing if you never want to take an ounce of damage, and that's nice. But resist energy is just straight up ignore damage. So I ignore 10 or 20 or 30. And I think at this stage, you probably are absorbing 20 or 30. Let's see. So, nope. We're at max 30. Okay, so we are at max now, because she's at level 11 or higher for caster level. So we're absorbing 30 electric damage. Now, anything above 30 sneaks right on through. But again, we are limiting it to no more than 30. Just straight up we're immune to. So now we see we have a Spectre here, who's going to be a problem if we're not careful. We have a full combat round. It is Eliza's turn. Her summon axiamites are going to start frying this bastard with electric blast, I have no doubt. We also have these skeletal champions all up in our face. Now I can be a complete another jackhole here. Ooh, they got a Miri for a couple native levels. That sucks. We'll have to fix that. But we have ways to surround that. Actually, what's going on here? I have restoration on her? I didn't know I had restoration on her. Anyway, we need to take out this Spectre. How are we going to do that? Let's start with something that's auto-hit. work our way around to this jackass.
Strike as one.
Now, as you can see, we've damaged the Spectre. Means it hurt our team probably a little bit too. The Spectre is wounded. Now, if I can do a 5-foot stutter step here, swing on this fool. Not bad. Reduce damage because again, it's not ghost touch weapon, which again I have the ability to do, but I shouldn't turn that on. It's just something we'll have to do in another round. Might be another Spectre out here, matter of fact. Is there? No, just an archer. So I'm going to AoE damage undead. Just because it does a lot of damage to those guys up front. Now I'm doing what? Miri, she's taking damage, but I'm still at rage with the best of them.
They go down.
Proto. Now these guys are already wounded. She has spells that could damage them, but she also has this kicking ability that I just figured out the other day. So Rod of the Fearless has a quicken component to it for spells 1 through 3. Now, any quicken rod seems to work this way. So if I literally use any cantrip, I can quicken them, and it does not burn up a charge, which is pretty damn cool. That includes our Disrupt Undead spells. Now, since we have multiple guys within range of this doofus, I'm betting that we could probably sneak attack him. Sadly, no. Shut that off just so we don't mess it up. Do it again. Again, I'll take that damage. Now, Jubilost, he can have some fun. He has Unholy Bombs. He's getting low, so maybe we don't want to use those right now. Let's do... Let's just try to shoot this fool. Okay, Eliza, your turn again. How about
Do not
you
hold
stab
back.
this guy to death? And no joy. Dora, your turn. I want to buff up though. We are going to buff up for Ghost Touch Weapon and Bane Weapon this time. I may wonder why I'm doing both those, because that's 3 different penalties. I made it Keen, I gave it to Ghost Touch, and made it Bane. And you may wonder why I did all those. Because I really didn't want to have to worry about another Ghost Spectre popping up. I mean, not having that Ghost buff on me. It's a secret here. I actually know there's another Ghost down here. Spectre. 2 of them, matter of fact. So, kind of cheating. But whatever. You would have done that anyway. You're in a Ghost area. You would have made sure you had Ghost Weapon on. So I don't feel too bad about it. Let's move up into here.
Strike.
Proto, you can come to here now that we're flanking this fool. Hopefully you can do your trick again. There's some sneak attack, love. Get it again. I'll take 2
I wish there was
brave
another
spells. Here's where the other ones come in. Now the downside is after we kill these jackasses off, oh that hurt. More pop up right behind us, so we really need to kind of consolidate our team here. Let's get Eliza over here.
We shall overcome.
And causing some problems already for this damn Spectre. Not hurt me. Quit it. Juby, you need to move your butt. Feel free to bomb this ghost. 130 damage. Now that was some this crit. That's beautiful. Some serious sneak attack love right there. Alright, Proto wants you to... in here. Skeleton, okay. She can shoot with her crossbow.
Out of my way!
She was out of reach, I think, for the cantrip, so I didn't want to have to worry about it. I'm going to charge. If I can. No, I can't.
Don't hold back.
I'm going to get over here and smack this bastard in the face. There we go. I'm going to still give my force damage. Tristan, you can move your butt over here, sir. Okay, what can you do for us, Trishan? These guys have bones, don't they? Oh, come on now. They're all bones. Cold's not going to work. Well, here, let's do... Oh, that takes a full round. Damn it. I was about to say, let's do that on Amiri to help her out. But I guess that's not going to be a thing. Oh, here we go. Get our own little death knight out there for you. Or is that another full round thing? Son of a beat, man. Everything's a full round for him. Alright, let's spell. Not that we need it, but it never hurts to recast it just in case. Miri, can you charge something? Thank you. Eliza, I want you to hang back here, kid. Because I do know about that surprise attack coming our way. Jubilos, on the other hand, needs to make some ground.
Primitives.
Proto. Step to here, doing our trick. May not be amazing damage, but it's easier to hit these guys this way, so. Remember, these are all touch attacks, so their armor's straight up garbage. So that's part of the reason I'm getting weird on the use of that. And plus I like the fact that we found out the little trick, so. Tristan, I want you to come over here, and instead of doing damage, I want you to heal. Thank you. He was a lot lower than I ever really want him to be.
Bring it.
Okay. Everybody regroup.
I'm there. We'll do it the hard way.
I don't know why they just suddenly show up. I guess it's on your way out the door. You're supposed to be attacked again, thinking that everything's clear. But again, you see we got Spectre here, ready to move after the summoned Axiomites, but the Axiomites are right here. I'm going to fry his ass. So I'm not worried about that. So I say we charge this doofus. Make him pay for getting anywhere near my team.
Attack!
Now, just to get a feel for how they did against her, remember her touch armor class is a lot better than everybody else's, with all our monking it up and everything. So she's getting a solid 33 here. So again, 23%, or 23, needs a 23 or higher on a 20-sided die. Not going to happen. Now on a nat 20, of course, they'll give it to him, but the point's still the same. You can have some fun. And I honestly call shenanigans on this. I would not think that positive energy beams like this that are specifically targeting undead should be reduced in damage. I think that's some bull honky, but what else? Jubilos has one more bomb left, and this is what we're going to use it on. Okay, now we never got, like I said, got a chance to check this area out, so we wanted to do such. Nothing in there.
I do what I must.
Patch of dirt here. What does it say? Judging by the footprints in the dust, the barbarians explored this room in search of hidden entrances, but it seems they didn't find anything and turned back. Okay.
I was successful in my search.
Nice little find.
What manner of country is this? Where is the lavish dining, the festivals? I believe I found something. Merits a footnote in my compendium.
Got it.
I'm there. Interesting.
Done.
I'll show you this stuff when we get done with it all here, guys. Oh yeah, leather scraps. Look at those. The rune-covered ancient leather scraps have been stellar for us in this run. So I got a feeling that this is our last place for finding these things. And it kind of makes sense, because if you know what it makes, it actually makes hide armor that allows a person to turn into a Smilodon at will, I want to say. It's pretty weird armor. It's not something that I particularly would use, but I could see it on a druid, for instance. Now, as far as new items, let's look at date from newest to oldest to see what we picked up here. We got stuff that we can straight up just drop. We got the war-painted skull of Duthica, This helmet allows the wearer to enter a rage as a barbarian and summon 2 barbarian spirits to help them in combat for 20 rounds once per day. The Legacy of Deathka will not yield its power to the weak, and characters with less than 15 strength cannot equip it. Kind of interesting. Great sword, +1, we drop that. That's just straight up heavy. We'll keep all the lightweight magic stuff, so I don't mind that. Ancient Kelid clothing bag. I don't even know that we... Clothing rag, excuse me. I didn't even know we picked that up. Ancient Kelid tribal fetish. Those are just sell materials. Ancient Kelid sword shard. This is, again, probably something of a story arc. So, big fight coming our way up here. Well, bigger than normal.
Their life ends here.
So now, here's our trick on this one. We have Eliza and the Axiomites behind us, right? So the Axiomites are going to come up from back here and start blasting these things, and again, start frying our team and causing me problems. So we're getting ready to take a knee here before too long anyway. So I can kind of blow our wad a little bit. And I'll have Eliza resummon them over here, so they can directly engage with this damn Spectre, so we don't have to deal with it. Dora, on the other hand, he has issues. In that he has very few spells in the way of range damage left to him. Just to show you, we have Sirocco. Used all those up. Any dragon ones left? We have 1 dragon one left. And again, what one to use? He's good enough to hit this guy and the ghost, but that's about it. And I don't think I'll get anything better than that, unless I move. Unless I move some more, excuse me. I guess I can haste everybody, why not? We're going to rest soon anyway. That'll give us the ability to do more with less, I suppose.
Will they ever learn?
Now, of course, we have this Greater Air Elemental, Greater Skeletal Champion, and the Spectre in the room. But another Spectre just showed up. You bastard. She's all out of Skeletors, too. Alrighty then. Just thinking of what to do here. Why don't you delay your turn past Eliza? Because Eliza is going to summon Axiomites right there. Taking these ones away from us. Putting those ones out there. And of course they're idiots and lock themselves up on the first combat. Well, it's a ghost, so I say undead. Not epic damage, but at least it's something. Tristan, you got anything that can help us on this one? I don't think they can. They're protected from cold. Oh, there we go. That's something at least. Alright. Amiri's turn. Rage. That's the machine, honey. Thank you. Dora's turn. Might as well heal. Goodbye. Alright, Jubilost, 5-foot stutter, step this way. Continue to shoot that thing.
Use of my talents.
Go right ahead. Waste your time on those guys for a longer. These things have bones, despite all appearance to the contrary. Like electricity, apparently, hitting them in the face. Proto, your turn. 5-foot stutter step. Let's try to hit this bastard with a snowball that's 5. Oof, that was a solid hit. 10d6 of cold damage. Tristan, come up here if you would say. Get her own elemental up. Oh wait, no, full turn again, damn it. Gotta stop moving. Alright, I'm gonna come over here and just strip. Thank you, Mary. These guys can have fun with all these doofuses. All they want.
You should have run!
Smack up the back of the SK and kick their ass up. Jubilost over Yes, sir. Shoot that one.
Clever ploy.
Sneak attack. Liza's turn.
Strike as one.
Yeah, get your ass. Proto. Cantrip time.
Spell's not working like that.
Sneak attack 1, sneak attack 2. That was damn good. Tristan's turn. Your buddy. Might as well just damage him. Very.
They go down!
Making room for everyone else to get it within range.
Strike!
Okay. Quick save that mess. Alright, another leather scrap and executioner's mace. Show you that here in a second. And there, that's a heavy mace. They'll say it's a morning star in the description, but it is considered a mace, a heavy mace. What does this say here? Hidden door opens into a room full of treasures. Wasn't that full? Let's look at that mace though. Human Bane, +2 weapon, turns into a +4 weapon against humans, and does 2d6 extra damage to humans that they hit. So that's a pretty solid weapon again. Again, that's a harem weapon. Yes, he's our heavy mace guy. I don't know that he'll ever use that, but you never know. Like I said, it's a +4 against peeps.
Guide my hand.
Okay. I don't see a Spectre yet. I mean they're not there. So we gotta be a little bit careful here. Again, these guys are kind of like weirdly staggered. You can see I can't really get more than like 2 of them at a time. Maybe 3. But then again, it's kind of a weird place to put it. So I'm going to actually greater invis myself. Get myself in a position to actually wail on this bastard. Go ahead and try to hit me 50% of the time, you jackass. Even without my armor, that's pretty awesome.
Ha! Primitive.
Solid work, buddy. Proto, I want you to come up here. Because you will do your trick. Liza, why don't you come over here?
Do not hold back.
Engage these guys. Those spastic bastards, aren't they? Looks like they killed one. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. Was outside, changing the tire, having all kinds of fun. We're going over here to smack this guy in the face. I gotta remember to take her damn negative levels off of her. Right there. Because I can take those off of her. Matter of fact, does he have that too? Yeah, he does as well. Need to fix that.
Don't hold back!
Okay, on that. Let's actually do that now.
What I must.
That is a lesser restoration, if I'm not mistaken.
Magritio, Turinos.
Oh, wait, what? Are these considered permanent? Or these don't do native levels? Ah, boo. Alright, so that's not going to work. Does he have any recall? No, we used them already.
I
She
will
got it.
not
Ooh, here we
falter.
go. Hey. Two temporary levels and got my drain off me. That's awesome. Let's do that again on Mary. Hell yeah. We need to check out this area because we have not yet. We got treasure. Merit there. Take all those things. I saw we picked up a double axe. Let's just get rid of that now, because they're heavy. Yeah, we're doing okay. We have enough to rest twice here. Trying to rest just before we go upstairs is the goal.
There's something you test of my
As you can see, we have specters again, but we got them on off guard this time. That's nice for us. Now, having said that, we got 2 specters, a bloody bones beast, a skeletal champion, and a cleric of Gorm. So we got all kinds of problems in the back rank. Now, having said that, Liza's here, and again, her Berlani bastards are way back there going to fry us if we don't do something about it. Since we're about to rest anyway, I'm going to straight up just bring these guys up here, let them do their thing. She's good enough that she can probably tank one of the specters herself. One of her buffs fall off. Oh shit, one of her buffs did fall off her. Okay, let's do... Take out these foot soldiers back here if I can. No, that's not going to work. Not that guy, I guess, at least. Surprise round. I keep forgetting it's a surprise round. Okay, now let's move over here. Can you shoot this fool from where you're at? Possibly. Rotate my camera so I can see this. Yeah, she's within range. So I'm going to do this. And it gets sneak attack, but again, cut in half by being a ghost or a specter. Excuse me. So it's not amazing, but at least it's something. And we will take it. Now, we got Tristan here, and he's amazing in that he can really come out here, and if he's close enough, he can straight up damage the guys. Yep, sadly, no. But we could do that. Feel free to drain that with all your heart there, sweet pea. Miri, you're going to come over here. I'm going to mess with these guys in the back ranks here in a moment. Dubelost.
Will they ever learn?
Oh, they like to summon stuff too, you bastards. Okay, I need to get her buff back on her.
We shall
I'll
overcome.
hold up that specter. Hope that they don't swing a Dora. Hey, I'll take that. Full damage is probably what made that work. Well, we did some decent damage there to Amiri too. Claw damage. Oof. Bastard has a 23. She ain't got much in the way of armor. The buff must be falling off her as well. Alright, Proto. You don't need a 5-foot stair step on. You can come over here. And I want you to cast a spell I don't normally use. This is Firewall. Downside of this one, Wall of Fire, it doesn't show you the angle. I mean, like if I had it out here, they would show me like a straight line or something to show me where it would land. So right now I basically just cast it on a guy. Yeah, see, I wouldn't honestly expect it to be that freaky ass weird angle. I'd expect it to be left and right, but I guess it's because it's, compared to where she's standing, it's aiming at the guy, so it's, what do we call that? Not parallel, perpendicular. Perpendicular to her and the target. So I guess that's the thing. If I wanted to do straight up, would have cast it here, straight line, and then zip straight across. But it still hit the guy, so again, I'm okay with that part. Didn't do much in the way of damage, but did enough to make it interesting. Dora might be having some problems here in a moment. We'll worry about that later. Now let's get Tristan all the way up in here. Again, now that he's within range of all these damn ghosties, just damage in general.
Bring it!
Oof. There's a beast. And that was not enough to take him out. Barely halfway. Alright, Dubelost, can you shoot this guy from
Fine
here?
use of my talents.
Yeah, let's put that glove in there. We'll take it. Divine Power, that's a bad spell for us. That gives him like ridiculous strength hits. Eliza, might you come over this way?
Attack!
That'll work.
Strike as one!
Dora, 5-foot step away from that fool.
You son of run!
I want to cast a spell. Trying my best out with the mirror unit. Alright. Proto. At this point, I'm cool with you snowballing the shit out of this guy. There we go. Christian, who's left? Oh, the beastie here. Not bad is he. Oh, him and the other guy. Let's go with the champion. Nice. Wow, Skeleton Champion's tough. No, you need to get out of that mess. So you'll be 5-foot stutter step so you can closer.
A clever ploy.
The reason I do that too, by the way, is not just to make sure that I don't mess up and have him go somewhere he's not supposed to and then not shoot. But notice that it's not catching by way of the wall of fire as an area of effect. I have the ability to remove those, and it's not catching it. So we have to just kind of wait this one out. It's kind of a shame.
I'm there.
Got a scrap, got rid of that. Now I suppose, if I wanted to be crazy here,
I will see this through.
I could protect everyone from fire. And then there's somebody in
Our time has come.
to go get the items. That's locked. Okay, so we have
All
to
this
do-
waiting bores me.
quick save this just in case she sets herself on fire doing this.
Got it. I won't be halted.
Fortunately, we survived it.
Follow if you dare. Interesting.
Take that. That's the cloak of the bear. I'll show you that here in a moment.
I do what I
Okay,
must.
go this way. What we got? What we got? What we got? Nothing. All right. I don't want to leave without checking this room out a little bit more now that the fire's gone.
I'm there.
Okay. We're gonna rest, and here's the reason why. First, quick save. To show you. This is first the end of this area. Click here, and it literally tells you the barbarians set up camp here. It seems like they were preparing for a serious battle, which is probably an indication you should do the same. So that's why I wanted to wait to rest up, if at all possible. Didn't have this problem earlier. I mean, I rested way before this, and I blew quite a few spells and effects just to get to this spot, and I did not rest again. I went back upstairs. Fought Armag. Everything was fine. We had plenty of what we needed, so it was never an issue. There's a bigger area upstairs to still uncover, but we didn't get to that because that's when the game glitched on us. Now notice we cannot hunt here. Notice we cannot cook here. And of course we have to use rations here. So that's what we're basically going to do, and since we're not cooking, obviously we just put it back to hearty meals for now. There.
You're constantly unhappy, always complaining, but you never threaten to leave the party.
Discontent is the normal condition of a sound mind. Comfort and contentment lead one to grow fat and stupid, and even cause gnomes to bleach. I may not be entirely warm-hearted, but I'm never at a loss for new experiences.
Alrighty. Now, 7-hour rest, and that's because Jubilos is on the party, in that specific role. Now remember,
So,
we
any
gave him the
brilliant
ability
ideas?
to restoration himself. And he has a strength penalty and a charisma penalty right now. Strength back to normal. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now,
I'm
Tristan has the ability to do the same for me. Help me out. Hopefully for strength. Nope, charisma. You suck. Alright, now I can get his spell back to do it, but she
Together
has
we stand.
4. Might as well just have one. Alright, looks like everybody's back to normal.
Time to act.
Okay, got my magic rod shut off. Jubilos still has 1 more to go, but it's only charisma, and I don't really worry about that. He's not supposed to be in battle in the first place. So, let's get him buffed up. And now remember, his mutagens now, that he leveled up in this map, last 1 hour per caster level, so I don't have to even recast this one. Normally, alchemists like himself get only 1 mutagen a day, but because of my mods, I have a trait that gives him 2 uses a day instead of 1. That's invaluable. At this point, though, it's kind of moot, because literally I can activate this the minute we wake up, and he's covered for 14 hours. If we had a battle before then, we're covered. If we take another knee in the next 14 hours, he'll have it back. I guess it's not useless. It's still a backup, but it's less likely for me to use it. Let's think of it that way. So we're going to give him a shield spell. This is just creep. Give him some blur so he doesn't hit anymore. I'm going to activate sense or see Viz for the team. Probably poison for the team just because. Since we've been hitting electricity thanks to our idiots, I'm going to buff us for electricity protection. Okay, now, having said that, I'm going to do the same buffs on Liza, our tank. And make it a little overkill, right? Because she's got Shield of Faith, why does she need a Shield Spell? They're different buffs, different kinds of buffs. And then I'm going to buff myself. Let's go with myself too, so I can keep track of myself in the party. I want strength. So does Jubilost. I like giving her extended wings. Just as a reminder, I still have my wings because they last several hours now. Again, I can extend them, so I did, and that's why it's still on me for like 24 hours, even though we just took a nap. So I don't have to recast this one right now, and it's only used on me, so it doesn't really do me much good to cast it on someone else. I still have Mirror Image to cast, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, but I am going to buff my weapon. Okay.
I will not falter.
And turn on my Arcane Stress before I keep hitting this. Shield of Faith for the top 3. The front runners, if you will. From there, I'm going to have her cast Magical Vestment on herself for Mage Armor.
No one stands
Got
in
Shield
my
Spell. Blur for herself. And she has this one, but it's last minute ditch
Share
effort
your
kind of stuff.
troubles.
I'm going to have him do Magical Vestment, though, on me. Found out the other day, and he's going to do Shield of Faith for himself and for Purple Lich. Plus for the team. No fear for the team. I'm going to have him cast Death Ward on me and our tank. And Freedom of Movement on the tank, because I never want her to have a problem getting caught and stuff. Now you notice the only person that really didn't get a whole lot of anything is a Miri here. So if anyone had anything else to cast, like, I don't know, Airwalk would be kind of cool. Then I'll use it. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to give Cat's Grace to me. And Cat's Grace to me too, because she probably doesn't have anything that buffs that. From there, he has more buffs. Let's use them up. Do that board on her as well, because she's in the front. Put the other one on Tristan, just because we don't want our cleric going down from something silly. Quick save. And since we did have an issue here, we're going to hard save it as well. Hope that this doesn't happen again. Whatever we glitched out. Now we can take stuff with us, but notice that it makes us heavy. What I would do is I would recommend you drop all the non-important stuff, basically the non-magical items, and nothing that's Masterwork. Oops. Nothing that's masterwork level. The reason we can keep the masterwork is because they're worth so much money per. Yes, I know we're already underweight where we can travel, but I don't want to drop this stuff off on the next level. I just want to leave it here. We'll catch it later if we have the time, because again, this will be stuff we'll have to come back for, because I don't want to travel with this much weight on me. I want to be in the medium range where we're at right now, which means, again, we're going to drop anything that's not really worth a lot. Like these ones here, that's 50 bucks for 2 pounds. I'll keep it. But these are 50 bucks for 30 pounds. It's not worth it. If we can come back for them, like I said, we will do so. But that keeps us lean and mean, so to speak. And again, I still have a little bit of weight issues. But again, get rid of these full plates. We'll just leave. We'll drop the full plate off on the floor above us. That way, if we leave that, again, we'll get the option of, hey, do you want to carry this full plate with you? Probably not, because we'll probably find more treasure. But you never know. I went today to do grocery shopping and do some errands, change that tire, and everything was a bust. Went to the grocery store. Alright, we got a guy here. I want to quick save it. Went to the grocery store. Couldn't go in at first because it didn't have a mask. Because apparently my city's decided now to employ masks for anyone that's coming into the store. Which is honest, and I mean, I don't mind this. It's just, it was like a afterthought of me getting there. I'm like, oh, I'll grab groceries. And nope, can't do that. So I'm like, well, whoopsies. I mentioned it to the guy. I'm like, this kind of suck because, you know, I need groceries. What am I going to do? And he's like, oh, you can just pull your shirt up over your face, and that'll be good enough for us. All right, so I went around like some kind of idiot, like I was trying to rob the store with like a little bandit mask over my face, my shirt. But they were nice enough to let me through. Grabbed some stuff there, got home. I was like, you know, I need to fix that tire. Been meaning to do it for a while now. It's been raining on and off so much here. I've never wanted to go out. It's cold, it's rainy, I'm not going to do it. So I'm like, oh, I'll go do it now. So I wanted to change the tire. First time I ever had changed the tire on this car. And I'm like, this should be easy. I'll get it done in a day. You know, I know I got a spare. And even if that doesn't have air in it for whatever god-awful reason, you know, I'll just go air it up and, you know, be back, bing, bam, boom, and I'll be done in an afternoon. Well, guess what? The jack's there. The lug nut wrench is there. Got it all jacked up and was getting ready to take the tire off, and the lug nut wrench doesn't work on the lug nuts. For some reason, the lug nuts are extremely small and are really recessed into the tire, so I can't reach them with this lug nut wrench. Well, I'm like, well, I'll just, you know, take one from my other vehicle, and it has one, and again, it works just fine on it. Won't work on the car. Okay, fine. I'll just go to the store, you know, the automotive store, and just buy myself whatever wrench I need. It's starting to annoy me, but I'm like, whatever, it needs to be done. Get to that store, and of course, it's like everything else in the city. Nope, you don't have a mask, you can't come in the store. Alright, well, thanks anyway. Come right back home, put everything away, and just kind of come in here and cool off, play the video game. Anyway, Cloak of the Bear. We have a bonus to resistance for your saves, which is exactly the same as what she's wearing right now. You see that? But notice it also gives a bonus to CMD. Now that's combat maneuvers defense. So this is like the trips, the bull rushes, the sunder armor, the disarm abilities that people can use on you and bad guys can use on you. So she's the tank. We don't want her to suffer any of those things, so this is a nice boon for her. And again, it kind of looks kind of cool. So solid upgrade. But this also gives us then a resistance +4 to give it to someone else. Like, oh, how about Amiri? She needs extra. Anyone else need a 3? She can never take hers off, remember? That's bad. He needs a 2, and he's got the shallow one, so let's give him the 2, or the 3. Like, yay. Alright. Now, I feel good. And again, we got a guy here. He's going to ask us to challenge him. Again, I've done this earlier. The barbarian who stands before you is old, but not decrepit. His tan, muscular body seems to be made of bronze. His eyes have no whites, no iris, just black metal and reflections of invisible fire dance upon his shining surfaces. Sorry, I'm going to make a little note here. Let's see. I greet you in the Temple of Gorum. I'm Zorik, keeper of this tomb. If you've come this far, you certainly have potential. But the time has come to determine if you're worthy to enter the inner sanctum. I'd like to ask you some questions. When I was young, as you are now, I also craved knowledge. It was only after serving our Lord in iron for some time that I realized that all the world's knowledge is but smoke on the water and dust in the wind. I can indulge your curiosity, but you should know that words can bear no true wisdom. Such wisdom is only found in the clashing of metal, the roaring of fire, and the crunching of bone. Where's Armag now? The same place he's been all these ages, in his burial chamber, inside the sacred sword in which Gorum placed his soul. Or were you asking for the bold boy who dared take the great chieftain's name? That one proved his worth in an honest fight, so I let him enter. I know not what happened to him after taking the sword, but he never came back. I hear the echo of tragedy. Whatever happened to Armag, his meeting with the spirit of the ancient Armag might bring woe. But for whom? Him or us? Tell me about ancient Armag. I never expected the great chieftain's glory would be forgotten among mortals. Well, listen well then. Armag was a mighty berserker and a valiant warlord who led our tribe from one victory to another. Undefeated, he grew too proud and began bragging that even death herself was able to lay him low. His words offended Pharasma, so she sent her servants against him. Gorum wouldn't accept that and chose to challenge the goddess of death. While Armag fought armies of monsters on Earth, the two deities fought each other over his soul, and though Armag's wounds were too terrible for him to survive, Gorum wouldn't let Pharasma take him. Instead, he placed Armag's soul into his sacred sword, Ovenrbane. It just rolls right off the tongue. The very sword that's held in this tomb. That's a badass sword, by the way. Who are you? I'm Zora, cleric of Gorum and advisor to the great chieftain Armag. I stayed with him as he ascended to his glory. I saw every step on his path. I fought beside him in each of his battles. When I was slain beside him on the bloody field of his final battle, Gorum made me Armag's guardian. The god ordered me to build this tomb and keep my chieftain's peace until the day when a mighty warrior would arrive, one worthy to wield the sacred sword that holds Armag's soul. Few people have entered this tomb over the centuries, and none have exited. That boy was the first to manage to pass me. Do you think you can be the second? Thank you for your answers. Alright, no need to thank me. Nothing I told you will help you in battle. Let me tell you of my deeds. They'll make my worth clear. Maybe so, but such speeches are sacred. They're like battles themselves. Once you start talking, I won't let you stop the story and leave without a fight. Are you ready? I'm ready. Listen well. Oh, I'm listening, but don't think to defile your lips with your lips and my ears with lies. I can see your thoughts as clear as I'll see your guts if you don't speak true. So we have a bunch of diplomacy checks, a bluff, lie check, an intimidate check, and of course the ability to straight up just attack the guy. Obviously we fight him and beat him, then he'll let us in, because that's the whole point of this. But you can get a lot of XP doing your skill checks, and we will do so. I did it last time. Diplomacy 28, and of course we'll pass it. I killed the Stag Lord, leader of a large bandit gang, and took his fort. So the Stag Lord terrorized the area, and the Brevins bestowed the title of Baron on you for his head? Yes, and they also bestowed me with 360 XP. Yes, that's something to be proud of. What else can you boast? I killed Hargulka and Tartuk, a Troll King and a Kobold King, respectively, and destroyed their city. You felled 2 monster kings at once? Yes, they gave me 180 XP for it. Yes, that's something to be proud of. What else can you boast? Diplomacy 25. I killed Vortikai, ancient necromancer and ruler of the Cyclopes. Success again. Mages, giants, and undead. 3 of the worst, most disgusting things. 180 XP. Yes, that's something to be proud of. What else can you boast? Now we can lie, like he said, that he will detect it, supposedly. Now, I don't know that, again, if we make the check that he'll detect it. I didn't do this last time. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do the intimidate one, because that's the one I did, and I passed it. Again, we need a 2 or greater. Ooh, ring-a-ding-ding. But we could fail it. I'm the ruler of the Stolen Lands. No one dares doubt my glory. You can clearly see I'm worthy to enter. Cleric, step aside. Peasant. We pass that one. Not just anyone can boast of such exploits. I, Zork, declare before the face of Goron that you truly are a great chieftain, worthy to enter Armag's inner sanctum. The cleric bows his head and steps out of your way. We just got a shit ton of XP for that. Boom. Now, again, before we go into the room with Armag,
That is quite a
we are going to hard save and quick save. Take the things that I care about. There is a little icon here to click on. Small incense in the air.
There's
Stay up
something
there,
here.
excuse me. Yeah, another one of those things. And again, just to recap on that, we found a crap ton of those guys already today
I do what I
in
must.
this particular tomb. So let's get into position. Quick save. Hard save. So I don't have to think about this if this glitches out again. Quick pause though, because I want to show you. Oh, type. Where's it at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those things already. That's pretty solid. And again, we've been doing pretty steady Eddie good for what we've been picking up. I don't need that buckler though. And I don't need. Oh well, those are the masterwork stuffs. But I don't need this studded leather. Oh, okay. Executioner, that's the one still amazes me. And we got some great swords and some other stuff, but again, like I said, they're weighing us down, but we're still in the light category. Yeah, the next thing to get lost will be like the heavier items here, the masterwork stuff, like the great swords and masterwork, scimitar, or scythe, excuse me, masterwork. The lighter ones like the kukris and the swords and the scythes that are masterwork we'll keep, because all those are worth $100 a pop. The composite longbows, you see, we got $100 on each one of those bad boys, and they only weigh like 3 pounds, so I'm definitely keeping all of them because they're light. But something that's 8 pounds or more, I probably want to chuck those. It'll be the next thing to keep us in the light category. So I'll make sure we didn't pick up anything cool. Nope. So we've saved. We're ready to get inside. Now again, I could buff up
What's new?
with something like heroism. You can put fly on somebody. She's got wings. I have wings. She has airwalk, which I like wings. So there's really no one else to buff up with that. I could have him buff himself with that, giving him +2 to swing or freedom of movement. I could, matter of fact, I think I want to turn his fast bombs on.
It's time to
I
act.
could buff up with haste. Matter of fact, I think I will. Just to expedite this mess. Alright guys, here we go. And like I said before, this was a relatively easy fight. There's a little story behind it though. Armag, the great chieftain's tomb, reeks of death. Not the ancient death of the chieftain himself, but recent death. Dismembered bodies are scattered around the room, blood staining and pooling on the floor. You barely even recognize the remains as human. They were once members of the Tiger Lords, the barbarians who followed their leader to this tomb, only to fall by his hand. Armag himself stands in the center of the room, clenching a blood-stained sword. He breathes heavily like a hunted animal, his eyes wild and aimless. His voice is hoarse as he shouts at a slim woman in a gray cloak and short, abrupt phrases. The woman's yellow eyes are fearless as she watches the chieftain through the holes in the veil that cover her face.
Lies. Armag's entire life a lie. Armag is not Armag. The sword says it is Armag. The sword, it calls Armag an imposter. What now? What? What to do? Who is Armag now?
Hush, my boy. Calm. You really are Armag. There have been no lies. But your soul has slept in this sword for so long, it just doesn't recognize you. It will soon, though, and everything will be all right. You know you are a hero, a great chieftain, the greatest of all chieftains ever born into this world. Remember that. Hold on to it. Great deeds await you. Soon. Very soon.
I love the dripping grossness of this sword. I want it so bad.
Stop lying. Armag is not even Armag anymore. Was never Armag in the first place. Armag is like the 8 mothers now. No name, no tribe, no destiny. What's left now? What? Only revenge!
And bullets are right in half, boy. And just like that, he's on us in a heartbeat, along with a bunch of Skeletor bastards in the area. I don't think there's any specters in here. I think it's just straight up berserker skeletons and archers types, and that's basically it. And of course, Armag. Excuse me. But by and large, Armag's straight up a pansy compared to us at this point, so we really will just crush his ass with our A ridiculous army of skeletons and other pets that just straight up summon. He may lay waste to so many, it doesn't matter, we'll just summon more on top of his ass. It's the fodder on the sides that are going to be annoying first for me. So if we can contain him with pets, and then just like blast the area with like cold spells or some such, which is a total viable option. For instance. Oh, I forgot. Everything's immune to cold except for Armag. Oh, whoops. It's okay. Jubilos, you want to come over here, and you definitely want to bomb the shit out of this, I'm thinking. Whoa. Whoa, he remembers her. Well, okay. Since you remember each other.
Tear them apart!
Oh, go Miri. Oh, the other skeletons die. That didn't happen last time. We killed the skeletons first. Armag, the exhausted barbarian, falls to one knee. The blood seeping from his wounds falling to stain the floor. He doesn't look at you. His gaze wanders around the room until it stops on the bodies of his tribesmen. So now this is where, again, I have an issue with this. This is where we crashed, or real soon. We actually talked to him first. And then when we became brothers, we became friends, and I let him go, that's when it crashed. So if it happens again, we may just have to do this other one to finish him off. Clearly, and I assume that's one where you basically heal back up and you fight him immediately, kick his ass. But that'll be a way to get the sword too, by the way. The sword is cursed and amazing all at the same time. I'll show it to you. Even if we don't get it, I'll show it to you in the bag of cheats. That's an amazing mod that I have that allows me to just gift myself stuff. I won't gift it to myself, but you can read up on it. Get an idea what the over and Bane, whatever, is capable of doing. I want to say it's a bastard sword, and it's pretty baller when it's that. Stan, we need to talk. Who are these defaced sisters?
The 8 mothers fed Armag, raised him, taught him everything he knows. Since he was born, Armag knew no other family and no other tribe. They told Armag of his great past and his even greater future. And every word was a lie. Armag was just their trained dog. He jumped when told, growled, tore their enemies to pieces. He had no idea for what or why he was fighting. One more thing. Once, Armag heard them talk about another sister. The one they all served. When he asked, they lied. Said there was no 9th sister. That Armag had misheard them. He should have understood then that they weren't to be trusted. Those who lie once are not to be believed twice.
What are you doing here?
Armag, the great chieftain of the past, was buried here. Armag, the great chieftain of the present, was born again. He had to return here to reunite with his soul, the one sleeping within the sword, to become whole again, to restore his power, to reign over the land again, to challenge the gods again. That's what the 8 mothers told Armag. They lied. They were lying all along.
Why did you kill the sister?
Armag took the sword and spoke to Armag's soul. The sword said Armag was not Armag, but just an impudent brat. Ancient Armag's rage blazed like a torch in the night. All that was hidden was unveiled at once. Everything. The 8 mothers raised Armag, and since childhood they kept saying Armag was a great man with a great destiny. Lies! Lies and more lies! Armag is not Armag. Armag is just a toy for the 8 witches. But no more. Armag's life is over. But at least he dies free from all lies.
Every time I see this part where it says lies, lies, and more lies, I fall back to this book filled with lies and pictures of also lies. For those of you that catch that reference, kudos.
A lie is what Nyrissa and her servants live, and I was part of that lie.
Tristan's voice holds a bitter note. Why did you kill your people?
Ancient Armag, great chieftain of the past, invincible hero, Gorham's champion. He served only Gorham. Not his people, no. Only Gorham. When he killed, it was not to feed his people, not to gain glory, not for wealth, not for power. No, it was the other way around. He fed his people to make them better killers. The blade was thirsty. It quenched its thirst on the blood of Armag's fellow tribesmen. Ancient Armag was a great warrior, that much is true. But he was a bad chieftain. He would send his people to their deaths for no good reason. Armag wasn't a hero. Armag was a kinslayer.
This ancient Armag was a scum, if what you say is true. And some just love to venerate some dead wretch.
Why did you attack Brevoy?
The 8 mothers used to say that today's Armag is a great chieftain, just like ancient Armag. He would defeat anyone he wanted as soon as he could find his soul. They said all he needed to do was find the tomb. Then he could conquer Restov, conquer all of Brevoy. Just find the tomb. But did ancient Armag need some stupid tomb? No! He just fought and won! If Armag is really Armag, he would be bound to win.
So, sound logic.
But this Armag is not that Armag. He led his people into a trap. Realized too late that he won't be able to take Restov. And that's when the 8 mothers told him they had found the tomb. Armag entered the tomb to become stronger, to save his people, to bring them glory and riches. But all he found was death. Ancient Armag and present Armag have that in common.
So now this is where we had the problem, guys. So this is the one that I clicked on. And after choosing to let him live, he walked away like the fight was over. He left this way, taking the sword with him. I was joking about how he takes the sword and the bastard freaking glitched my game out. If this happens again, know that I'm not going to be able to get past this part without trying to kill him. And again, I'll cut the video and edit all that parts out, is my point. But I would like to save him. Because and this is my logic behind this. Honestly, it sounds like he was a dupe. He was literally Apache. They literally set this guy up from start to finish. They tricked him like they tricked me. It's exactly what's happened. He feels bad about it. He killed these people not because he wanted to, because the sword made him do it. And the sword is cursed, as you'll see in a bit. But it's just one of those things. We can be friends with him, or we can kill him. And again, if you kill him, you can take the sword. Because the sword responds, I think, to whoever basically is a murderous piece of shit. And the sword is straight up cursed. But it has a lot of good stuff on it, too. So again, if you have a bastard sword-wielding character like Amiri could use it, so could Valerie. She's skilled in the bastard sword, no less. But it's a very weird weapon, as you'll see. So let's try to save him. So what will you do if I let you live?
The soul, trapped in the sword. His power became his curse. But the sword's curse brought Armag's power too. His rays burned away all lies, burned away false destiny. Armag sees things clearly now. Armag will create his own destiny. A living soul is stronger than any ancient dead man. The ghost in this sword can whisper whatever he likes. He will never dominate Armag again.
I like this. Notice that I'm highlighting stronger to give us some information here. You quickly managed to find Armag's tomb. If you had come any later, the evil force trapped in the sword might have overwhelmed the barbarian warlord once and for all, meaning it would have taken this option away from you. We found Armag's tomb by doing it the old-fashioned way, going on Google. Also exploring, but basically Google. And we found it. If we would have researched it, done all the multiple steps that would have taken to research this shit, I think then if you find it and go over there, by then it's too late to save Armag. So this is actually kind of cool that we have this option. The part that pisses me off is this is where it goes bad on me. So cross your fingers, hold on to your butts. Chaotic good, you're free. Go make your own destiny.
The one holding Armag's life in his hands didn't take it. This cannot be forgotten. Let us fraternize, become sworn brothers.
Armag draws Overbane's edge across his palm, then extends his bleeding hand to you. Fraternize with Armag. Brothers.
Brothers.
You run your palm along the blade of the ancient sword and shake Armag's hand. For the first time, he looks directly into your eyes.
Turning an enemy into a friend and giving him hope. I believe Sarenrae herself smiled at your deeds today.
Here we go. Armag sees Overbane and leaves the tomb. Oh, come on, please don't crash on me.